As for my last guest this month, and Scott actually had hit me up some time back before I ever had to have a speaker, and mentioned that he might like to come in and speak to us. We're not the guinea pig. He told us he actually spoke to another group on the Tea Party he said here a couple weeks ago. So he's looking forward to speaking to us today. But Scott Sanson's our Faulkner County Treasurer, and he took office January 2015. He's loving life right now because he's running unopposed this last election cycle. So when he started as the treasurer, he came from the Arkansas Commissioner of State Lands office where he was the fiscal director. And he earned his Bachelor's of Science in Finance from UCA back in 2000 and graduated Bologna High School in '94. And his wife, Autumn, and their 3 children, Ridge, Jet, and Sage, they reside over in Bologna as well. So if you don't mind, help welcome Scott.
Can everybody hear me okay? Well, it's good to be here. Thank you very much. Bill, Sue, Jim, Joe, Betty. Has that got everybody? Raise your hand. Isn't that what politicians do? Come in and name drop? I got to come up with better names, I think, to get more people. But no, seriously, thank you very much for having me. I'd like to think of myself not as a politician today, but your county treasurer. Before I get away from politics real quick, 2 years ago I came to see y'all and I didn't know anything and I just felt like a weenie over here. I just showed up at the door and I said, hey, I want to come to your Rotary. Well, little did I know I needed to be somebody's guest. But Rick Sal said, you're going to be my guest. And Rick, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I am Scott Sanson. I'm your county treasurer. And yes, we do have a county treasurer, which, who knew that? Yeah, 1 or 2 of them. Yes, I am elected, and for 2015, luckily, nobody else wants to be county treasurer but myself. But, if there's one way to run, it's unopposed. I ran with competition, without, and without is much, much better. I'm gonna see if I can run this. Now, I said you're not the guinea pig, but you kind of are because I haven't run the PowerPoint yet. So we're gonna try to get it. I'm gonna first show you what I'm really most proud of more than anything else I've done, and that's my family. I show people this because you would rather look at that than me, I'll tell you that much. Ridge, Jet, and Sage are my children, and they are within about, well, I've got a 9, 7, and 5-year-old, and you talk about staying busy now. They will keep you busy. We almost didn't get to come today because we had a meltdown this morning. Everybody knows Toad Suck's coming, right? Toad Suck's coming, and we have Toad Suck races at school today. My 2 oldest have decided about a week ago, they went out and got themselves some toads and everything was good. And we get to school this morning and Jet's toad is dead. It was not a happy camper. He was just on the verge of a meltdown, and the principal said, well, we've got other toads, so I think he's going to survive and race a replacement toad. I'm sure it's not as good as the one he had, but he'll make do. Like I said, we live out of Bologna. I'm from Bologna. I've been there pretty much my whole life. Graduated from Bologna in '94, then went on to UCA and graduated in 2000. Worked 2 years at Merrill Lynch from 2000 to 2002, and then went to the Commissioner of State Lands office with Mark Wilcox in 2003. Kind of got tired of working for elected official where they have to be elected for me to keep my job a lot of times, so we had an opening in the treasurer's office and I decided to run. We took office in January of 2015 after being elected in 2014. This is my staff, Jenny and Lisa Cook, who was a holdover from the last administration, and Angie Casey. These are the people that make me look good. If you see them out in the community, please thank them. They are the heart and soul of what we do. They make sure things get done. Like I said, they are the ones that really make me look good. We've come a long way in the treasurer's office. But we're still learning. There's things every day that we're figuring out. It's just kind of one step at a time, a little bit here, a little bit there. I'd say that we have the big picture of what's going on, but there's still a few holes in our pictures about what revenue sources and why are we revenuing that way. Just little things like that. But like I said, we're learning all the time. Health insurance, we're learning on our health care all the time. One thing that we're doing there. The duties of the county treasurer is essentially, we are the quasi-controller of the county. We receive and receive all revenue coming through the county, and we're the disbursement officer of the county. Now, being the disbursement officer, we're not the only one that handles a pay process. When a pay process comes through the county, it first goes to the judge's office. The judge signs off saying this is a viable process, and then it goes to the county clerk's office, and they make sure that the appropriation is there in order to spend it before it comes to our office, and we have the make sure it has the funding, and then we issue the check. So it's not just this person says a check can go out and it goes out. So it's a checks and balances more or less that allows us to do all of that. Another thing, and probably one of the most important things that we do, is we forecast revenue and the overall budget, and work with all the offices for the overall budget. In forecasting the revenue, and we'll get to a little bit of the numbers here in a little bit. That's kind of the part where people usually fall asleep when we get to the numbers. This is the entertaining part, if you can say this is entertaining. When we forecast the revenue, what we'll do is we look back across 2 or 3 years of revenue, look at the trends. We also kind of, how's the county doing trending forward? It's a lot of guessing, but with education. What do they call that? A few improvements we've done to the office is mostly with procedural policy changes to make us more efficient, work with increased controls. When we got to the office, first day in January 2015, we walked in and there's these, Lisa comes out with these ledger books, and these big green ledger books. And I don't know if any of y'all work with ledger books. They're not any fun. So we've gotten rid of the ledger books. We went totally computerized. We're automating a lot of things. Getting one of those ledger books have helped us increase our efficiency. Now we work a lot faster. We do the same thing in less time. The computer does the addition for us. We don't do it with a pencil and paper anymore. Division of work. We actually have less employees now in our office than they did with the previous administration, but we devised their work up so that at least 2 people get to see that work every time, so we have some control on that. We've kind of combined job duties in more of a segmented orientation, but everybody touches a piece of it so that we have those controls. Direct deposit. When we started, no, we did not do direct deposit in the county for payroll. This was kind of something new to me, that everybody got a check. I hadn't gotten a check probably since 1999, and I thought, well, maybe we can do this. A lot of people said, no, nobody wants it. Well, it turns out we're like 67% right now, people getting on, so people do want it. And it's very helpful, not only to us, but for people coming and picking up the checks and distributing the checks. It saves a lot of time throughout the county. And another payment we're making is electronic funds transfer out to counties. Now, when you pay your taxes in, you pay them into Steve Simon, the collector, and then he transfers them over to me, and I distribute them to cities, schools, fire districts, things like that. Instead of sending those checks out, we are offering the ability to get an electronic check and then get your paperwork through an email. So that saves a little bit of time, a little bit of money. We're still working. We come up with new ideas, moving forward all the time. We're always trying to make things not only more efficient, but increase our controls. Now, here comes state of the county part. If anybody falls asleep, I don't feel bad, or walks out, I understand this is just a bunch of numbers here. 2016, our total county budget is $47,793,288. Our quorum court approved that in December, and that budget is holding pretty steady for that right now. But instead of going over the total overall county budget, because you would definitely go cross-eyed on something like that, we're just going to kind of work on county general from this point forward. Our 2016 budget for county general is $14 million, about $14.5 million, with projected revenue of about $13.2 million. That's with a carryover of $3.2 million. The 2015 budget was $15.4 million, so we have decreased our county general budget by a little bit this year. With expenditures about $14.1 million and revenues at $13.1 million. So kind of what we're working on here, and you may have seen it in the paper that that the judge at one time was wanting to do some stuff about some insoluble funds or fledgling funds. We actually, county, this is the fund that money was going to go to. There was no fledgling funds in county general. The problem was our revenue, our expenditures were over our revenues. And as you know, even though you've got a balance carrying forward, you go many years with your expenditures over your revenues, you're not going to have that. So that's what we're trying to get in control. Not so much that we don't have the money in county general, because we do have it. As you can see, your property tax at $7.2 million is the majority of the revenue that goes into county general. It's about 55% of the revenue that goes into county general. But of the property tax that you pay, county general only receives about 8.9%. As you can see, this is just for the city. Now, if you don't live in the city of Conway, your millage is going to be a little bit different than this. But if you're in the city of Conway, 75% of that goes to the school, 8.3 goes to the city, 8.9 goes to the county general, 5.5 to road, and 2% goes to the county library system. So even though the property tax is the number one, and like I said, 55% of our revenue that goes into county general, not a whole lot of your property tax action is going to that. Now, property tax is like I said, it is our largest revenue in county general, but it's our second largest revenue at the county level. The largest revenue at the county level is a half-cent sales tax. It is divided between county road and county and criminal justice. It revenued about $8.5 million last year. And once again, of the sales tax that you pay in the city of Conway, that half-cent sales tax is about 5.75%. So as you see, a lot of the taxes that you pay, whether it be sales or property tax, doesn't go to the county. But we are doing the best we can in trying to keep our expenditures where, in line with our revenues. Right now, for the sales tax, we've been seeing an increase. There was about a 3% increase last year. However, we're down about 1.5% this year, so we're keeping a close eye on that. Our property tax revenue was actually down for 2015. We're hoping it's back up for 16, but we're pretty cautious on that right now. So I want to thank you all for having me. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. And is there any questions for anybody? Yes, sir.
In terms of the county budget, what is the most expensive item? I'm not still unclear. What is the most expensive item? You said our total county income is what, 55 million?
The total county budget is $47 million. Yes.
Okay. What's the largest single expenditure of that budget?
That's broken off across a bunch of different funds. It's hard for me just to say without looking it up what the number one expenditure is. In that $47 million, not only do you have county general, but you have county road, county library, county museum, like I said, criminal justice sales tax fund, many different funds in there. The one to say that the single biggest payment is. Now, if you're wanting to know, like, salary, of course, is a large expense for the county.
Now, one other question. How has internet sales affected your tax revenue?
That question I cannot answer. I do not know. That's going to be a sales tax thing. The only thing that would affect would be on the sales tax side, not the property tax side, though. But I don't know what effect that has. Yes, sir.
The downturn in the oil and gas, say Arkansas, Faulkner County, what impact is that on the county budget?
It's going to have an impact, especially on the sales side. Anytime that you have an industry like that kind of goes away or turns down, it's going to hurt us on the sales. Property tax revenue, I spoke to the assessor 2 days ago, and we have a reappraisal for 2016. The downturn or elimination of the gas industry is going to kind of alleviate any increases in assessed values that we have throughout the county. So we're going to kind of be flat for 16. So if your assessment's flat, your revenue collection is going to be roughly flat. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any issues with the state sales tax forms that are filled out? It doesn't necessarily pre-fill for county, and have you seen any shortfalls of that?
Actually, I haven't seen any of that. Our sales turns back come from the state, so I don't see the forms that actually go to the state. State sends us a turn back, sends us a state turn back or state aid, and that's on that form, on that state aid form, but it's categorized what it is. Anything else? Thank you all once again so much for having me. I appreciate it.
We appreciate lots of informative information, and our club has adopted a project, and it's called the 50 newspapers to the local schools in your honor. So with this, the log cabin donating those, and so the next month that will be too. Thank you so much. Thanks again.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. The card for Lloyd, has it made it to all the tables? Okay, and the one for Joe, y'all have that one as well? What about the sign-up sheet for,
I'm sorry. I've got some notepads here. If anybody wants to pick up a notepad, they're more than welcome to.
thank you,
I'm sorry, I
thank
didn't
you.
mean-
No, that's okay, that's okay. The sign-up sheet for the workers tomorrow, I know Brad and Richie, are y'all on there? Because I've got my video ready.
This year, we're going to be in suspense. I
Okay,
think Brad's injuries.
yeah, we have video evidence of that, so. Yes, Jim?
Tell everybody to pick up a poster or flyer.
Yes, there are several posters on your table. If you will please take one, and if you need more, let me know. There are a few yard signs over here. If you have a place of business or a home that would benefit from putting one of the yard signs, please take that. Ed, can you take one? Put it, in a good place. So appreciate that, but we really do appreciate you. That we could not make this happen without all the volunteers to help be there and to mix batter and cook the sausage and do the servers in our dining room. And I know I've been part of this for 7 years now, and it just seems like a well-oiled machine. Everything just falls into place, and people just show up and they know where to go. And as being in this rotation, I want to say I really appreciate all of y'all for stepping up and being there and doing what you need to do and going above and beyond. And I really do appreciate that. That comes from the whole club, and I think Jim can say that as well. He had the bulk of the pancake breakfast this year, so good job, Jim. Our next month will be Miss Rachel Steele, and we will not have a meeting next week, which I think I told y'all. And then also the St. Joseph Interact Club will be here, outstanding 8th graders on May 19th, and then the UCA Rotary Club on May 26th. I think I done it. Is there any other announcement before? Yeah, May 2026, 267. I'm glad to know I'm not the only one that had that. You see it, Jim?
Who did that?
I don't know. So, again, we want to thank you to all of our sponsors for the pancake breakfast. We could not make this happen without you. And if there are no other announcements at this time, we will adjourn with our 4-way test. Thank you.